Welcome back to Guitar Wishes, Guitar Wish of the Day. We're here with special guest Eric Harter in beautiful downtown Lincolnton.
Beautiful Lincolnton, North Carolina. Glad to be back.
Glad to be back.
Just got in this morning, Roger.
Did you?
Yes. It's been a year since we last spoke, and we did some business in your store. And I come here and see my friends, and they said, well, we have a guitar shop here in North Carolina. And I believe you said you were voted number 11 at the NAMM show.
Number 8.
Number 8. I mean, come on, out of 2,000 some odd stores, but
Right.
The place speaks for itself. So I had to come in here, and I was expecting a small mom and pop shop. And lo and behold, look what we got here. And first thing I appreciated, your passion for music, the guitars. And I had mentioned that I was here visiting friends.
Right.
And we did some business, and I'm back in the store. I mean, what else to do? Come back with these beautiful guitars. And you knew I was killing time, and you have to say, well, what are you doing, Eric? You want to, kick around for a little bit? And that's when you kind of took me under your wing, and, we went around and we talked music, mutual interest, and your hospitality. I mean, it was great, and I just really appreciated the time that you showed me,
We feel like everybody comes in the store. We want them to feel like family. Not just, we don't want them just to feel like family. We want to feel like family to them also. Sometimes one of the things that's huge for us, Eric, is we've had multiple customers that's come into the store and they were in age or they were in a place involved in an accident. And last time we got to talk to them, and it was early on when the store opened. Ronnie Parker was one of those gentlemen. He came in on a Saturday. Great guy, come up from the beach, and he passed away. And he came in here on a Saturday and passed away Monday, and I got to spend about 2 minutes with him. And it always bothered me because he was one of our better customers, and we were just slammed under busy on a Saturday. So I try purposely not to take anything for granted.
Absolutely.
Because I would have loved to sit and talk to Ronnie one more time, So, and I try to do that with every customer I see, because you never know.
Right.
And this is not trying to be gloom and doom, but it's one of those things you got to appreciate every moment of the day.
And, that's why I try to get here as often as I can, to see my friends here. And, it's just great. The hospitality in North Carolina is great. And I guess that's why after 40 years, I was introduced to Lincolnton when I was in service with my friend, Tim McCann, and he brought me up here to meet his people. And 40 years later, here we are.
Right.
3 years ago, my 60th birthday, they rented a van, amplifiers, guitars, hopped in there and showed up, surprise birthday party for me. So it's the people,
Right.
But one thing I wanted to do, it was, I just really appreciate, it's very admirable what you do for the kids, the guitar camp, and, it's just awesome. And then, I was thinking about that, and then along with, hearing about, the death of your father,
Papa Bill.
Papa, yeah. And, it's, I just kind of, basically this is just tit for tat, the hospitality, and, I could tell, your dad being a musician and the respect that you had for him. I just lost my father about 4 years ago. So, I could understand. I got to thinking, well, this might be a good return gesture. What could I do with something music? Because, music was your dad's life, So I thought, well, with it, what you do in the guitar camp, I want to donate, this guitar. I thought I thought it would be something that you could do in your dad's name, and maybe do something with it for, I don't know, the guitar camp or something,
And we're going to change the name of the Guitar Wishes Guitar Camp this year to Papa Bill's Guitar Camp.
Awesome. There you go.
And we've got a lot of people that's come on board on it. And when you walked in the store this morning, you come all the way from Minnesota, right?
Missouri.
Missouri.
No, I'm not a Yankee.
I meant Missouri.
Right.
Cut! No,
Right.
Minnesota. Nothing wrong with anywhere. But you came in the store and you called and made sure I was here, and you brought 2 things in. You brought the guitar and you said, I'd like to do something with the kids for guitar camp for Papa Bill. And myself and Uncle Steve teared up. It was really tough to control it. My wife came in. She teared up when we told her. I think every guy in the shop came in. You don't meet people that truly have a giving heart as much as you used to. At least I don't think
I don't think you're a stranger to that, though.
Yeah.
That's why, like I said, this was an easy thing. you know, I'm
Oh,
honored to do it.
it's just. And the other thing he brought in for the wall, the signature wall, was a picture of Chuck Berry that Chuck Berry had signed.
Right, right. Well, I mean, being from Missouri, you know, that was Chuck's home. He played at the Blueberry Hill. I don't know if it was the third Wednesday of every month, but my God, he did this, you know, up till, you know, he passed away. He was in his 80s and still doing live shows. And, you know, I had several friends that, you know, played backup, and Chuck, whenever Chuck did little gigs and he needed a backup band, he usually called local musicians. And this girl I was dating at the time, she was going to church with his sister, Lucy Berry, who does a little small cameo appearance in his Hail Hail rock and roll movie.
Right.
But we'd go out there and eat fried chicken with her, and sometimes Chuck be there. And so, I mean, you know, I've got a few of these autographed pictures, but I've down to 2, and I just wanted you to have one.
Well, it's going to stay on the wall, you know
so,
that, right?
Yeah, I figured this would be a good place to have it. Put up there with the rest of them. Yeah,
yeah, man, that's
my
amazing.
pleasure. Mutual interest, man, you know?
Well, I got to be completely honest. When I started Guitar Shop, it was an accidental thing. And we had the studio, and we put the buildings in for other businesses as an investment. And it just kind of grew down from the studio into the Guitar Shop. But it's my favorite business of all the businesses we have because of meeting people like you. And we do on a regular basis. I mean, it's
well, my God, you've had Billy Idol walk down the street of Lincolnton.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. Yeah,
to name one, right?
Yeah, exactly, to name one of many. Yeah, and it's the whole thing. Like we got John Snyder. He's going to be here, and you need to come down, and because we'll tell John the story Saturday, but he'll be down. You know, Bo Duke from Duke's Hazard.
Yeah, I seen you got a little surprise there for him.
Yeah. Vintage
awesome.
Guitars built him a custom pro shop vintage guitar and set it up. It came in yesterday. They're going to give to him Saturday. Lee's going to give to him, and it actually plays amazing. It's one of the better playing guitars I've ever played in my life.
They all are. It's a very good instrument.
It is, but they really
Trev
breathed on
Wilkinson,
this.
amazing. You know, started out with what, parts, electronics. And
well, he started off. You know, we come from the same walk of life, but we both own body shops building custom cars.
Oh boy!
And because we had body shops, we had paint booths, and because we had paint booths, guys that had their guitars that would bring guitars in and say, "Hey, can you paint my guitar for me?" And what we learned to do is be luthiers, because we learned to take these guitars apart and put them back and make them better than they were before.
There
even
you
when
go.
we put them back together. But we had to take them apart to paint them. And he started the same way in England doing that. So I think that's pretty incredible. He was a big Jaguar guy. I talked to him back in January for a long time, and we sat down. He said his big car to restore was Jaguars in the day.
Well, that's where he's from, right? That's where he makes his
It is.
guitars, England?
It is.
Okay.
His company's out of England. It and Fret King's out of England. It's based out of there.
Great guitar.
The Fret King's an amazing guitar. You don't see many of those in the United States. I think we have maybe
I love
two
the
or
body
three.
style on that thing. It's pretty unique. It's
is.
not quite a Tele, and it's not quite a Jaguar. You know, it's kind of its own thing.
Like the John Jurgensen. I mean, the
you
color,
go.
if I recall right, it's a 56 Ford color. So it goes
Yeah.
back to the car world.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
So I think it's cool.
Gotta love that.
I don't know if they say that out loud, but it is. I mean, if you can look at one, you'll go, there it is.
Right.
So-
Well, I was glad to come in here and see you today. Like I said, I called you early this morning, and I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to miss you. So, you know, it's always a pleasure, though. It's always a pleasure.
Man, it's always
Yeah.
a pleasure to have you.
Like
in
I said, today this isn't business, but I think we're going to do a little business this week.
Well, I think it can be business because I think we can call people like Michael Reno Harrell. I'm sure Michael will probably be interested in getting in. We're auctioning this thing off to raise money for children. I'm sure Jason Crabb, he'll probably want to be involved in it. You know, both these guys do a lot for
That's
children.
awesome. Yeah,
And
you get a lot of support for that. I think that's great. You know, the way you organize it too. I mean, you do a lot, man. That's awesome.
Well, that's because I'm married to somebody that pokes on me all the time. And says, do it right.
And now she's right next door.
Hey, she's right next door now, yeah. So, but we really appreciate you coming down. We really appreciate you donating this with Papa Bill in mind. I mean, it meant a lot to us. It's been a tough last couple of weeks, and been so supportive from the music world. Friends and family came out, and the most amazing funeral I'd ever seen in my life. Everybody kept saying it's the most amazing. my dad was able to play himself out with the last song that he
Right.
recorded and wrote. In our interview, he said he never wrote a song. Then he said, "Oh, I did about 12 years ago."
Right.
And the gentleman that recorded it with him showed up the day of his funeral and brought it into the store on CD. So I
Yeah.
thought you might want to have a copy of this.
Oh man.
And we didn't even know it existed.
Right.
We knew he wrote it, but we didn't know it existed. So my mom and my brother and my sister, we decided to let my dad play himself out at his funeral, and it was amazing. You know, it was absolutely amazing.
Well, you did right by him, Roger, and I know he was proud of you too, and what you've accomplished here.
Well, I think anything with a parent is always trying to get that approval, you know?
Oh,
You're always
absolutely.
trying to get that approval, because if you can get your mom and dad's approval, I think that's the best success in the world.
Yeah.
It is.
Everybody likes an attaboy from mom and dad.
They do, man, and I know I'm no exception of that. And the music world is just something me and my dad shared, that and cars, you know?
To have something in common, with a parent too. That's great.
It really is.
Yeah.
I just hope to grow into half the man my dad was. If can
I
do
understand. Well, like I said, I know he's proud of you.
Well, we really appreciate it.
Hey, it's always a pleasure, man. Like I said, I'll be back this week and we're going to do some business. I mean, all this eye candy in here.
Yeah,
Pitch your tent.
whatever we need to do, man. You made our day here at Guitar Wishes.
Oh,
today.
heck. Well, I enjoyed it.
Thank
Roger,
you, brother.
always
We
a
really
pleasure,
appreciate
man.
it. And make sure to check us out on Facebook and GuitarWishes.com and see all the good stuff. And please like and share this video. Really important when we have a customer that goes so far out of their way to come and spread the love, not just with us, but with all the children that will be touched in the future. So thank you so much for joining in, and thank you, Eric, for being
You
a part
bet.
of Guitar Wishes family.
It's a pleasure. Love coming here.
Thank you.
Cruising for a bruising.